Welcome back. The Houston area, we honored the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. today with two parades this morning. Mayor Sylvester Turner kicking off the original MLK parade in downtown Houston with the proclamation for Grand Marshal Vanessa Wyche, who is the director at the Johnson Space Center. The theme for this year's parade was Be a Drum Major for Change, and all the floats reflected that. Take a look at this. And the floats and marching bands for the MLK Grand Parade rolled through Midtown. The theme this year was social inclusion.
And today we are taking a look at his inspiration on young activists in the greater Houston area. Tonight we will meet two who are working towards the advancement of civil rights and social justice. ABC 13's race and culture reporter Rosie Gwynn joining us now with this story. Hi, Rosie.
Hi, Maida. The first person we would like to feature is Ashton P. Woods, who is the organizer of Black Lives Matter Houston. As an openly gay black man, he knows firsthand the barriers that exist for our marginalized communities. He says while we made progress in the fight for equity, we still have a lot more work to do.
And just like today, back then, it's still the same. Nothing has changed.
Ashton P. Woods remembers Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. fighting for voting rights and raising the minimum wage back in the 1950s and 60s. As he reflects on what would have been the civil rights leader's 93rd birthday, he says, unfortunately, they are still fighting for the same thing today.
But here we are talking about the same thing. And we're talking about stuff that my grandmother went through.
While Black Lives Matter Houston, the organization that Woods leads, is mostly known for their work towards advancing racial equity and police reform, he says in order to address social justice, we must take a wider lens and look at systemic barriers that exist within education, healthcare, jobs, and more.
We can't just focus on one thing, because if you fix things at the same time, you're improving the quality of life for people.
Woods overcame a number of adversities throughout his lifetime. He grew up with a learning disability, came out as gay in high school, ended up homeless as a teen, moved to Houston after being displaced from Hurricane Katrina, and is now living with HIV. Now he's turning that pain into purpose, taking inspiration from Dr. King to help others in their own struggles.
Dr. King always showed up, and when he couldn't show up, he still showed up in his own little way.
Woods says his organization's focus will be on the election and education over the next year. Coming up tonight at 6, we'll meet the woman behind Say Her Name Texas and how she's reflecting on Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day.